And you said been brought up multiple times in the chat, bro.
Yeah.
What's been going on, bro?
Nick Boyle. We brought him in. And are trying him out at long snapper. I guess we didn't sign him.
I'm about to say, I know that name. Yeah, I'm familiar with that name. Yeah.
Now, we did open up a spot by releasing Witherspoon. Hopefully that's for Quan Alexander.
I'm hoping so. We still haven't heard anything from that just yet, right?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. Played with the Jets too, right?
Who?
This the Nick dude? That's you, right?
He was Ravens guy. Yeah, he was Ravens tight end.
That was when he had the steroids. Yeah. He had Smith for a PED, right? Am I tripping?
I have no clue.
I feel like he did. I'm not tripping.
He might have.
Let me pull him up real quick, man.
But yeah, says he's serious about trying out for long snapper.
Serious.
And Steelers brought him in. But I guess we like Christian Kuntz better.
No, shout out to Kuntz, man. Kuntz the homie, man. Shoot, we need to get Kuntz on the show, man. I'm a dog, man. Good little dude. But yeah, Kuntz. I mean, Kuntz is another dude. He did the XFL. That's how he got nice at it. Yeah. I'm not against it though. I mean, obviously.
He's only 30 years old.
Yeah. He came in the league at 15, so still young. Mm-hmm.
Was Kuntz, was he a former linebacker?
Yes, Kuntz played linebacker.
Because that was one of the things I was curious about.
Yes.
With them doing the snaps, they able to hold up on the line like that?
Yeah, so Kuntz played linebacker.
Because Nick Boyle was a tight end.
Kuntz played linebacker at Duquesne. Initially came out to play linebacker in the NFL. Ultimately did not get the opportunity they thought he was going to get. So I think it might have been Danny Smith, or it was a different coach that talked to him and basically told him he needed to take a year and just practice snapping and just learn how to snap.
You are right about Nick Boyle being suspended.
Okay,
10 games.
Yeah. He was a juice. Yeah, I remember that.
Second violation of NFL's policy.
Right, you don't get 10 for the first one. Right. Yeah, that's why I remembered it. I know a juice one.
It was around your time.
Yeah,
2015.
15. Yeah, 15, 16. Yeah, absolutely, man. But with Christian though, took the year off, focused solely on snapping, because he was telling me ultimately like what goes into it in terms of hand placement, in terms of when it's lying on the ground, in terms of having to get it to rotate to make sure that they're catching it with the laces where it's supposed to be, and how he was saying literally an inch here, an inch here, inch here, inch here is the difference between it being a good snap and it getting off in time and it being blocked. And he was like, to have to transition from your traditional like deep punt to the short field goal snap. He's like, it's also different, but he was like, just the timing of where you have to have that ball. He was like, that's the big thing. Cause I was like, I snapped in high school. I know how to snap. He's like, it's all about like, it has to literally be in like this super tight window. So that's what ultimately.
So it's less about blocking?
Yeah, it's about the speed of it. Cause it should be, if you do this fast enough, they should never be able to get to it. But if the snap is off, if the step is off, the protection should give you some leeway. So that's why you kind of work together. It's times where, man, we done missed the block up front. And it's like, bro, or if it's Boz, you better get this thing out in 1 point. I think it was like 1.2, 1.3. For punting, it was like with burial when it was wing, it was like, bro, it should have been like, I think they told us like 2 point something seconds from snap to, because they would time it. So we would know like, all right, I could legit just fire off and hit my guy. And if I get a piece of him to make him stop for a second, he should never be able to get that block. And that was kind of how like you would learn it. So yeah, it'd be times where, if you miss your block up front, he carry you on the back. And there's times where that step is off or the snap is a little crazy and you see all that and it don't get blocked because they had him covered up front. So it does work both ways, but that was ultimately why he had to do the XFL to get used to it. And now for him, former linebacker, he gets to go out there and make tackles, right? Whereas with Nick, you're right, former tight end, different mindset. He's still physical enough to handle playing in there because the rules don't allow you to just beat up on centers anymore or snappers anymore. In 10, like when I first came in, that was like part of my job. Just beat the snapper up because because it wasn't a rule.
Make him think about it.
Yeah, it wasn't a rule. And we're like, if you bang him up and he's nervous, now the snap is off. If you hurt him, not trying to intentionally hurt him, but if he got banged up, now you to the
situation.
Now it's even better. I did, and I remember he told me about the convo, and it's like it's funny. I was like, I get it though. Yeah, so like that was a part of it, and then they eventually started to change the rules because we started to like people started to really weaponize some of that stuff, man. But yeah, that was a legit thing. So for Nick, I don't think it'll be an issue of him being able to sustain guys hitting him because he has a natural big frame, so he could do that. My question would be, number one, how consistent is his snap. The timing, the placement has to be perfect. And this is Pittsburgh. Weather matters. That field matters. When you're getting down there to get set up, Christian was also telling me, he's like, you don't get time to go stand by the heater and warm up. He was like, you might go out there and it's a TV timeout. You got to stay out on that field. It might be pouring down rain. That ball getting soaked. You got to be ready to go. He was like, you don't get like the quarterback, oh man, let me switch the ball, let me get the hit. Nah, because especially no one cares about it. But if that snap is off, we all in here going crazy, right? So he was just kind of like explaining all that to me, man. But yeah, I was like, bro, I did not realize this much went into that. But I'm like, salute y'all. I get it though. But that's the professional element of it though. Yeah. So for Nick, man, I hope it, if he is truly trying to continue on with this path of being a snapper, if it doesn't work out here, man, stick with it though. Stick with it because you're going to be more athletic than a lot of the snappers that are out here. Like, not a lot of people that are athletic snap because we play other positions. So when you look at the snappers, typically they aren't as athletic, they aren't as gifted. So if you could be a former NFL caliber tight end and you can learn how to snap, then that extends your career another 10 years easily because you don't get hit. Yeah.
I see what he's doing there, then.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll be thinking, I'm like, man, I should have snapped, bro. But it's no glory in snapping, and I like a little attention, Deke. I don't like a lot of attention, but just a little bit. Just a little. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, too. Like, no one talks about that. The snap and the hold on those game-winning field goals or even, like, critical punts. Those are big.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to get Christian on, man. I'll get Christian because I've had this convo with him doing, like, my, like, Steelers when I'm working my other job as a Steeler, like, media dude, and I have, like, interview him and stuff. So we've talked about this, and I've asked him that, like, bro, what is that pressure like? Like, take us through with that mindset. He's like, bro, he's like, everybody talks about getting iced and everything about the kicker. He's like, bro, we over here like, I still got to snap this thing. This hole got to be right. He's like, I talked to Presley Harvin. I was like, yo, Press, bro, he said,
dude, even catching the punt from a punter standpoint.
Literally, when I said, I was like, bro, when you got to go out there in this backed up punt, we got to get this thing out. What is that
Fourth
like, bro?
quarter,
yeah. And if you miss this punt or it gets blocked, it's on you.
Or just even imagine in the Super Bowl or one of those like championship games.
Yes, bro.
Oh,
and he literally talked about, he was like, see, because I plan on having him back on the show. I don't want to like share everything, but he talked about that process and it was like crazy because it's some similarities to like us as linebackers and how we go out there and what our mindset is in some of these clutch moments, right? Because people say, well, man, in the fourth quarter with under 2 minutes, so you got to have a stop. What is that like? And we're like, bro, I'm not thinking about like the moment as like I'm nervous. I'm so focused on like my process, my checklist, because that's all we do. So it's just like you get in that moment and it's like, all right, boom. Am I lined up? What my keys telling me? What's my assignment? All right, can I get off? All right, are there any tips over here? And you just executing like that. And that's kind of how you get through it. Whereas if you're thinking about the moment, that's when it can get to you. When you like, bro, if I don't make this play, it's over.
It's like golfers.
Yeah.
It's definitely. Exactly like golfer. You have all that time in between your shot. Mm-hmm. It's something you've done so many times. Yeah. But
so many times.
If this is the chip to get you that win or that putt to get you the win, and in this case with the punters and kickers, if this is the one you really need.
Yeah. And they talked about at Hines how like, the field, the grass, the seams, they're like, yo, you might catch this ball on a seam. It's like that's night and day than when it's on like the actual, like, because it comes in sections. So if it's the section where it was like this part was me and that part, you don't get to tell the referee, can we move the ball over here, move it up? Like, nah. So now you're stepping in a spot where it's two pieces of grass and grass put together versus it being a natural surface of grass. Night and day. But that's the type of stuff that none of us, including myself, had never thought of. So yeah, man. But shout out to them dudes though.